Good morning, everyone. It is Dave. Welcome in. It's time for module number 5. And in module 5, we're going to have 2 lectures. The first one is going to be the Renaissance in Northern Europe. The past 3 weeks, we have been covering art in Italy specifically. We've covered the 13, 14, and 1500s. And in this lecture, we're going to see how art evolves outside of Italy. Our second lecture is on the Baroque, which brings us back to Italy. But it's Italy after the Renaissance. It is the years 1600 to 1700, and we see some really theatrical, would be probably the best way to describe it, art. This week we also have a museum gallery event I'm going to be walking you through. That's just a worksheet we're going to be filling out. And of course, journal number 5. So join me. We're going to head over to the Canvas site. I'll walk you through this week's module. All right, here we are on the Canvas site. We're in Module 5 this week. Next week is going to be the last material for the first half of the course. We've got up top our video you're watching right now. We've also got an office hour link for every Monday and Wednesday, 4:30 to 5 p.m. We have our introduction here. Again, just lets you know what we're going to be covering this week, the 2 lectures, the objectives for both Renaissance in Northern Europe and the Baroque. And finally, the assessments. We do have a museum gallery event this week, as well as journal entry number 5. Our first lecture, the Renaissance in Northern Europe, our study guide, and also the further exploration section. We have just a couple of readings here. We have a very important video on the Arnolfini portrait. This will definitely be on the midterm exam. And then we're also introduced to a couple of ways of printmaking. There's going to be 3 that we cover in this class. The third one isn't until another week or so. But the relief and intaglio processes are invented during the Renaissance age, and these are really important and quite significant in Northern European art. After that, we have our lecture on the Baroque. So we are back in Italy. We've got the lecture, the study guide, and then the further exploration section has a reading, a video on recognizing Baroque art, a video focused on the baldacchino, and also some general Baroque architecture. We're going to jump down to the journal entry because the journal entry focuses on the Baroque. So it was way back when this art historian, Wolf Lehn, basically separated out the Baroque from the Renaissance. We didn't have like a fine dividing line and one day we're in the Baroque. We're no longer in the Renaissance. It really is the historians that end up dividing out these time periods. And Wolf Lehn states that there are 5 concepts that separate Renaissance art and Baroque art. And they are these 5 items here. I've got some information about them on a couple of websites as well as a video. And for your journal entry, you're going to be separating out a Renaissance painting, which this is the Crucifixion by Mantegna, and this is a Renaissance artwork, to this crucifixion that is definitely Baroque in style. So that is what you're going to be doing using these 5 elements. For the project this week that gets turned in, it's the museum gallery event. And because I don't have you physically go to a museum during the semester, you are required to virtually visit them. And so what I'm going to have you do is spend a minimum of 30 minutes on 2 museum websites. So at the minimum, you're going to be spending an hour on this project. You're going to choose a couple of the museums from this list that you see down here in the lower left, and you're going to fill out the museum worksheet. You're going to type directly into the worksheet. It is a Word document, and the boxes will expand as you type into them. In fact, let me bring up the museum worksheet here. The museum worksheet asks some very simple questions, such as the name of the museum. Please include the hyperlink. the location, where is its physical address. I want you to talk about the landing page and the menu bar. Did you find the navigation easy or not? The best and worst parts of the site. And an incorrect response would be there is none. So make sure to find the best and worst parts of these websites or things that you think they could improve upon. Tell me about your favorite type of art the museum contained. Choose an artwork to talk about, why you like it, describe it, as well as inserting a picture, and any closing thoughts you might have about the museums. So one museum, and you're going to compare and contrast that to the second museum. I do have a completed student worksheet here, so you can kind of see how complete I'm looking for. Once again, you can kind of see the completeness to which these are filled out. This student spent a little bit over 3 pages, maybe 3 1/3, but really I'm looking for probably 2.5 to 3 pages is generally what you're going to submit for this project. The project is due by October the 6th. However, you can turn it in late all the way to October the 13th. It is worth 30 points, so it is a significant amount of the grade. And that is everything for this week. So again, if you need any help, you're more than welcome to reach out via email, visit office hours. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And again, just as a reminder, Module 7 is going to have the midterm exam. So Module 6 is the last of the material for the first half of the course. In Module 7, all we do is submit the journals and take the midterm exam. You don't have to do that until later in the week. So if you need some days of flexibility, some days of study, you're more than welcome to use those, just in case if you start to feel a little overwhelmed with the material as we get into the halfway point of the class. After the midterm, that is all new material that will be on the final exam. So after the midterm, we also kind of switch from studying very traditional art forms to modern art, which is really a lot of fun. So with that, I will see you all next week to tell you about Module number 6.